Today, I'm getting back to work on my 1960 F100 that I think I'm going to start calling Valentine. Because, let's be honest, this truck used to be red, but now it's pink. I'm so excited for this. Hopefully, by the end of this video, I'll be backing this thing out of here under its own power and taking it for a test drive. Man, I sure hope so. Finally got some of the parts that I ordered in for this thing so we can actually start making some progress again. So let's get to it, shall we? I think I'll probably start with cooling system. Sure, why not? Okay. I am about to commit a car enthusiast sin. Yep. I'm putting a rubber one in it. I am. I'm not taking the intake and exhaust manifold off for a test drive. If it pops out later, I'll fix it. Okay? It's not a permanent solution. That's not what these are for. These are for, help! I'm stuck on the side of the road! Okay? This is temporary, I promise. Okay? I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you later. I'm at the point in this build where I need to see if I can get this thing running and figure out whether the mechanical fuel pump actually works or not. And I'd rather not run this thing for very long without any water in it. So I figured now was a good time to fix the freeze plug. So I'm gonna try and clean up the hole the best I can with some sandpaper. Try and get a decent seal with that rubber freeze plug. To be perfectly honest, I can't see what I'm doing at all, so I'm just, kind of winging it. Failure is always an option, and for some reason I usually end up going that route. I don't know why. I don't really like it. I feel like I got it pretty clean. Just from an eyeball, from a distance, with no light in a dark area. Hopefully this is the right one. Should be the right one. Ooh, I might have got it. Yeah! Alright. Okay. How tight are you supposed to make these things? Does anybody actually know? Just, go till your elbow pops, or are you supposed to make like one long dad grunt? Ugh. Okay, I guess I'll go get my coolant, start filling up the block, and hopefully nothing leaks. Crossing my fingers and my toes, living on a prayer. Oh, we're halfway there. Ah. Bloop, 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 bloop. Something's peeing. What's peeing? Why? Why would you do that? No! No, 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 no. Okay, where are you peeing and why? Oh no, does this really have a hole in it? Ah, come on, man. Dang it. Ah. If you were looking for good news, I don't have any. There was definitely water left in the radiator, and at some point, the bottom, like, 3 or 4 tubes froze. You can see they're really, really expanded, and definitely at least 2 of them are cracked. Me being super cheap, mostly because I have a really tight budget, I'm gonna see if I can pull the radiator out and repair it myself. I don't care what it looks like, I just care that it holds water. That's a bit of a bummer, and that's the wrong size socket. I really, really hope this radiator is savable. The cracks are pretty obvious and they're right on the inside, so I should be able to repair those. Right here, the radiator froze. You can see the hump in the bottom of it, but that's not actually where it broke. It broke right here. Hopefully, I can get those repaired. Somewhere around here, I have some aluminum rod. I don't know where it is. Okay, I've got it all nice and cleaned off. I used a little bit of brake clean, get all the antifreeze off. And I think I let it dry for long enough. Let's see. Nope. Whee! I don't think it's supposed to do that. The little bit of brake clean that's left over is really making my life difficult. Go away! Ah! Well, that's not supposed to happen. I don't think there's supposed to be fire coming out of the radiator. Well, I've been trying to repair that radiator for a while now. I'm making some progress, but I got the inevitable, hey, it's late, you need to come inside phone call from my better half. So, I'm gonna take the radiator to work with me tomorrow. On my lunch break, I'll see if I can get it fixed. And I will film that if at all possible, and if not, the next thing you see is a repaired or a completely ruined radiator. Okay, bye. See you later. Well, everyone, I am pleased to announce that even though it was really difficult, I was able to actually fix the radiator. No, I'm just kidding. I tried and gave up, and I just ended up buying a brand new one. There was no way it was gonna work out. I could not get that thing to hold water, not even hold pressure. No, I never even got that far. I legitimately mean it would just not, it wouldn't hold water. Oh, come on now. How am I supposed to do this? Go in there. Come on, little fella. Ow, my thumb's stuck. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get this sucker put back in, and then I don't know, maybe we can actually put some coolant in this engine. That would be nice, wouldn't it? When I ordered this radiator, I did not realize that the outlet was going to be on so much of an angle. I actually thought it was straight when I was ordering it. But that would put the radiator hose really close to the fan. It's got to go from here to here. The old radiator hose that was in here was really rusty on the inside. That chunk of rust actually came out of the hose. So I'm not going to reuse that. I found another radiator hose I have lying around that might work, but I'm a little worried that this radiator hose is going to, you know, right into the fin of the fan, and that's not great. Alright, the radiator's in. I ended up just making some new pieces because the old bends were not quite the right dimension. And then I added some little pieces of heater hose here on the corners to keep the aluminum from rubbing on the aluminum. I did not put any of these clamps on the bottom of the radiator because it is sitting on a rubber piece and it can't really move anyway. So the piece of aluminum angle at the bottom of the radiator is really just kind of keeping it out of the fan. It's not really even touching it, so I'm not too worried about that one. Oh man, I really hope that this works. Man, these hose cutter dealios are sweet. Yeah. Now a moment of truth. Oh no, is that the wrong size too? Oh no. Yeah, my radiator hose is not big enough. Dang it! Today is a great day. Because I just remembered something. And I can't believe this slipped my mind. It was my birthday the other day. And look what I got for my birthday. Who says the birthdays suck when you get older? Nope. I'm just hoping that it'll work with this hood. Ah, and it does. Look at that beauty. Oh, I can see. This is great. I am super stoked about this. I was able to find a new lower radiator hose. I'm really hoping that this one works. It's not quite the diameter I was after, but I should be able to make it work. So I'm gonna hit the water neck with some sandpaper because it's super rusty, and then I'm gonna see if I can get this thing on there. Hopefully I can just, you know, ram her home. Oh man, I cannot believe how much easier it is to see now. This is crazy. So hopefully I can just force this on there. Yeah, alright. I think I can make that work. I think so. Please, please work. Dude, okay, okay. I can handle that. And, woo, we have about ½ an inch of clearance between the radiator hose and the fan. Well, clearance is clearance. I don't know what to tell you. Good enough for me. Okay, take 2 of Will This Hold Water? Boy howdy, I hope so. That would be really, really nice. I'm an idiot. Okay, now I'm a little bit less of an idiot. Probably would help if I, you know, connected all of the hoses. I'm gonna dump that whole thing in there. These things are super handy. If you guys don't have one of these, you need to get one. They're really nice to have. Now, good news! The freeze plug I put in is not leaking at all. The bad news is, that one is. It's got a hole in it. It's leaving a puddle on my floor. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm surprised. So, I guess I'm gonna drain it all again. And, go get another one. And throw that in. The front one's holding. The front one's dry. Yay! 1 out of 3. Well, it looks like the coolant's done draining. So, I'm gonna try and pop this old freeze plug out. Usually, you can just take a punch or a chisel and hammer on one side of the freeze plug and it'll turn, and then you can pop it out with some vice grips or channel locks or something. But because this one's really rusty, already has a hole in it, I'm a little worried that it's not going to go quite that smoothly, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Oh yeah, that thing was a real hunk of garbage. The correct thing to do probably would have been to pull the old freeze plug out before I went to the auto parts store so that I could get the correct metal one to put back in the block, and I most certainly did not do that. That's right, I got another rubber freeze plug, and I'm not particularly proud of it. I didn't think about that till I got back, and I'm not going to the parts store again. So this is, that's 2 sins in a 2-foot radius. So I'm really racking them up. Do 2 sins make a right? Or is it 2 lefts don't make a U-turn? Or gonna go ahead and stick this in the engine block, and then maybe we can actually put some coolant in this and it will keep it inside of it. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? Alright, now we can finally test and see if this fuel pump on the truck is actually gonna work. I found this gas lying in my garage. No idea how old it is. Don't know who bought it because I don't remember ever acquiring this particular gas can. But it's definitely got liquid in it. So I'm going to use it because, well, even if it wasn't mine, it is now. Well, the spout is broken. That's, great. Fantastic. Okay. Now I'm going to spill this all over the floor and the body of the truck, because why not? Nope, I really am. Okay. Is it gonna stay? If I just jam it in there. Oh, okay. I've been messing around with it for quite a while trying to figure out why this fuel pump won't pump. And then I decided, oh, well, I'll take the rubber line off of the pump and see if any fuel comes out. That would be, you know, a pretty good tell as to whether there's a blockage in the line. Started to turn it, boom! Busted right on the fuel pump end. Just snapped. Made an audible. That's how brittle this line is. This is probably the original fuel line. Yeah, that's it's gonna have to be it for tonight. I will see you all as soon as humanly possible. And we're back! That happened fast, didn't it? Let's get back to fixing the fuel system. I'm going to try and blow some compressed air up there, see if I can get the clog to go away. And then I do have new fittings, so I can replace that hose that I broke. I gotta say, this week has been like one of the warmest weeks that we've had in a long time. And it is still absolutely freezing in here. I'm also wearing insulated pants, but you can't see them. So you'll just have to take my word for it. Now, maybe if I'm lucky, this will actually work. If it does work, I'm hoping I can hear some bubbling in the gas tank. Well, I tried putting air pressure into the fuel line, and that worked out just fine. Seems like there's no clogs, but I wasn't getting any fuel out, so I thought, oh, I'll pressurize the tank a little bit and see if I can get fuel to come out of the fuel line down by the pump. Lo and behold, I sure did, but I also, I think I popped a hole in the tank. That was not leaking before, and now it is really leaking. Update, it has now been several hours since the leak occurred. I'm an idiot. The air in the shop is now breathable. I had to leave my exhaust fan on and just walk away for quite a while so that I could come back in here and fix my oopsie. I think I found the hole. Should be pretty easy to fix. It's just a little itty bitty teeny tiny pinhole right there. Oh, that's good news. Easy fix. I thought that I had split the seam down here, and it could be that I did, but I highly doubt it. It's just rusted through right here on the inside, so I'm just gonna try and do a fairly decent sized area just so this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, the inside of this gas tank is really rusty. From about halfway up all the way to the bottom is completely covered in rust. As soon as I fix this one pinhole in it, it should hold gas for now. And then when the fumes get too bad or my feet get wet, I'll get a new one. I've already kind of cleaned off the bottom of the tank a little bit with some brake clean, but I'm out. So, now that I've got it moderately clean, I'm going to scuff it up really good with a piece of sandpaper. And then I'm going to clean it with acetone. I feel like that would be pretty good. You know, scuff up the surface so it's not super smooth. Throw some acetone on it to get all the dust and crap off. And then I'm going to use steel stick to plug the hole with. Looks terrible, but it's on the bottom of the tank, so who really cares? While I was waiting for the steel stick to dry, so I could reinstall the gas tank, I decided, oh, I'll remount all the tires. And that went about as well as expected. Ah, come on! Well, it's been way longer than I'd like to admit, but I was able to mount 66.7% of the tires that I needed to remount. What is that? Is that a D minus? Is that still passing? It's not great. It's pretty much what all my report cards in high school looked like. I have one that is being really stubborn. I've been at it for hours, and it will not seat on the bead. I can't get it to take a hold. I've never had this big of an issue. I've been fighting it for a really long time, and I can't get it to work. So I'm gonna move on. It's been long enough now that I'm pretty sure the steel stick on my gas tank is nice and hardened. Should be cured. I really hope that it holds. Maybe I should test it first. No, it'll be fine. By some absolute miracle, I got the tank put back in, filled it full of gas. There are no leaks. I mean, as far as I can tell, I don't hear any dripping noises, and I haven't passed out from the gas fumes yet, so even if it is leaking, it can't be that bad. So I think it's time to see if we can get this thing to fire up and test that mechanical fuel pump. Man, I really hope it works after all of this effort. I have already fixed the choke cable, got that hooked up, and I got that fuel line that I broke replaced. So, should be good to go. Just throw it right down the old roll. Yep. Okay. Ready, set, go! Okay, gotta do it again. Man, still nothing out of that fuel pump. You know what? I don't know if this fuel pump's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I get fuel, then I don't get fuel, then I get fuel, and I don't get fuel. Something ain't right. I think I've got a bad fuel pump. I'm gonna see how much I can get a fuel pump for, because honestly it wouldn't hurt to put a new one on it anyway. It's pretty sporadic, the amount that it'll pump gas. It's kind of weird. It's not doing pump things. If I were to go ahead and tell the truth, I would tell you that it's been about a week since I've been out here working on the old truck. I tried so hard to get this thing done so that I could finish the video and get it out to you guys, and I couldn't get it done in time. I had a particular procedure scheduled and completed that ensured that I will no longer add to the population of this planet. So I have been down. I've been down. So now that I'm back on my feet-ish, sort of, I'm gonna try and get this thing done and running under its own power. Got a few things to do. Got to put the tires back on it. Got to get the new fuel pump installed. So we'll see how I do. I don't even know if I can do it or not, but I'm gonna try. Really hope I can get this thing done. It's warm today, but the chance of snow in mid-March is basically... Today is the only day it's not supposed to snow, I think, for the next week. Oh, I need a screwdriver. Ow! Oh! Oh! Ow! Maybe this wasn't a good idea. If I didn't have to test drive this thing in the snow with absolutely the worst tires ever, that would be great. Man, how long are these threads? It's gotta be almost there. Come on now. I gotta be perfectly honest, I'm actually really pleased with myself for doing this. I've been staring at this truck for so long, and I want to drive it so bad. And, you know, it definitely doesn't hurt that this thing's been pretty good to me. There really haven't been that many issues. Just something in particular about this project, this truck, it's really satisfying. Old fuel pump is out. All right. And new fuel pump going in. At this point, I'm getting pretty darn tired of leaning over the fenders of this truck while it's up this high. So I'm gonna snag the tires back on this thing so I can make life a little bit easier for myself. I really appreciate having this tire as a crutch right now. Easy. Alright, let's see if this new fuel pump is going to do anything for us. Come on, baby. It'd be super cool if you wanted to run. Still nothing. What are we doing here? Story time. So, I've been fighting this fuel system for a little while now. Still, cannot get any fuel to the carburetor. I took the fuel line off of the fuel pump. Lo and behold, I don't have any fuel to the pump. I start hearing a dripping noise. The one original piece of rubber fuel line left on this truck just decided to give up the ghost all of a sudden. It's been a real trooper up until right now. But, nope, found the weak point in the system. I guess you always do. So, honestly, that's not that bad of a thing. I would rather it happen here than out on the test drive or out on the road at some point. Yay! Just got back from the auto parts store. I was able to pick up the right fittings and some more fuel hose to fix that fuel leak. And then, hell or high water, we are getting this truck on the road today. I don't care what it takes. I've only got a few hours left of daylight, but I have to... I gotta take this thing around the block. I've waited way too long to do this. So, let's get after it. Fix the fuel lines, check the transmission, make sure this thing will actually go forward and backward, and then let's get out of here and go for a cruise. The shift machine works. It goes forwards and it goes backwards. Sweet. I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do so I can get this thing out of here, but then we're gonna go for a ride. Die, bug. One shot, one kill. All right, here we go. Maiden voyage. This thing doesn't turn worth a shit. It's fine, I'm just running stuff over. There we go. Turning. Woo! Hey, we're doing it! All right. This is really sketchy and uncomfortable and very bouncy, but I'm having a great time. Oh, that's nice. There's some kids playing street hockey. Oh no, my dogs got out. No. Woo! By the way, none of the gauges work. Not a one. No temp, no fuel. No speedometer. But I know the oil light works. And the engine just died. Great. Okay, we need to get back home like now. No! Oh, damn it. Okay, I guess I'm pushing. On the upside, the road's downhill. Great. There's no way I ran out of gas already. Oh well. Well, I guess it's time to call the wife. Help! Somehow I knew this was gonna happen. I don't know if I'm out of gas, but I'm no longer getting fuel to the carburetor. So I'm assuming I just don't have enough gas in the tank. So the wife's on the way, gonna come pick me up, give me a gas can, and I'm really hoping that I can get this thing to pick up fuel again. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna have to tow it home, but this thing is really hard to steer, so getting towed home is not gonna be that great. Probably gonna be pretty sketchy, actually. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Didn't go as well as it could have, went about as well as it should have. Probably something. I recall something about a lead balloon, but I'm not very well read. Anyway, yeah. Got it back to the house. Luckily enough, my father-in-law was available to come help. We tried forever to get this thing to fire back up, and it just wouldn't. It would fire up on starting fluid, and if I put a little bit of gas in the carb, it would fire up, but the fuel pump just wouldn't pull gas from the tank. I don't know if the pickup tube's clogged or what the deal is. We put a bunch more gas in it, and it won't do anything. So that's definitely something I'm gonna have to figure out. I bet it needs a new gas tank. I really do. Also, one thing that I noticed is that the steering is absolutely awful. It is terrifying. I almost crashed like 3 times leaving my house. I almost crashed into my retaining wall. Can't steer this thing! And then I almost crashed into a car, and then I almost crashed into the curb at the end of my driveway because apparently the steering does not return on its own. Yeah, there was kind of no way to know that until I started moving, was there? But you know what? The whole 5-10 minutes I got to drive this thing for were absolutely glorious. Such a good time. Although the 2 hours preceding those 10 minutes, not so great. It was not the best time. But we got back, no one died, I didn't get arrested, and I still have all 10 digits, so I can still count, which is just fine by me. So, it was still a success. I still had a ton of fun, but this sucker left me stranded, and I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm gonna have to fix it later on. I'm gonna move on to something else probably, maybe, I'm not sure. I'm kinda out of money, so I don't know what I'm doing next. I have plans for the very near future. It just depends on what comes up next. So, I want to thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate it. Man, I made a mess. Who would do this to themselves? Oh yeah, me.